Well, good morning everybody. Happy Sunday. Welcome back to the channel. This is Ken's Cuts, and this is our first Sunday video post the Splitting for Hope event on Friday the 13th out in Stewartstown, Pennsylvania. But it'll be my first Sunday video since we got back from the event, and just wanted to give a special shout out to Jack. Here's his hat over at Cabin Firewood. He made sure that everybody that was in attendance walked away with a hat, and a lot of our fellow woodhounds are unveiling their Log Cabin Firewood hats on their videos, so I wanted to do the same. Jack and I actually swapped some merch, and you'll be seeing my t-shirts in an upcoming video. Don't have that one on here today, but I am wearing Ken and Danny's York Firewood t-shirt that I won during the vendor raffle at the Hope event. We absolutely crushed it last weekend. 57 cord of wood is what we're estimating. We processed 13 log splitters, 3 tractors, a bobcat skid steer, 4 or 5 dump trailers. The foundation owns a trailer, so we filled their 6x12 off of my AXIS and sent that out on the road 3 times. So that was a quick $600. And then we had a vendor raffle, and I donated some stuff to the vendor table as well. And we handed Barb, who is the director of the foundation, $370 from the proceeds of the raffles. And in doing so, I won the York Firewood t-shirt, and their motto on the back talks about money growing on trees. And for us woodhounds, that's, you know, no better said than the truth. But anyway, got a couple things going on here in the woodyard that I wanted to touch on today. This is our first Sunday video since the event. I did some splitting last weekend off camera. Took care of some monster beech. I did a short during the week that I posted. Hopefully you guys all saw that. And that beech has been in here since, I guess, April or so, maybe May. When that beech nut came in, and I've had a bunch of it here on pallets. And as you all know, the AXIS that I brought in here was new to me in June, and I've got plenty of AXIS candy now for the machine to mess with. So I'm going to work on a little bit of that today. I had a face cord of outdoor fireplace wood go out this week, and I also found a marketplace ad for some free older cherry that was stacked up on the ground under some pine trees in the same town where I was delivering the wood. So post delivery on the way home, I had messaged the guy and said that I would swing by. So he let me pick through the pile. I got a bunch of cherry. Some of it's in really good shape, some of it's marginal. But what I plan to do is split through it, put it on a pallet, and use it for personal use. Anything that's a little soft or punky, I'll keep for my solo stove. And that's on the trailer, so I'm gonna need to get that off the trailer sooner than later. But I've got a few pieces of beech here that will allow me to clear off one pallet. It's right over here. There's about 6 pieces of beech left that I didn't get to last weekend. So I'm gonna bust through those first, clear off the pallet, and make some room for this cherry that I need to get off the trailer. So let me get the AXIS greased up, fueled up, and I'll be right back to you. So stick around. All right, guys, the machine's warming up. I'm gonna try running these microphones. I'm not gonna talk too much. Got it clipped up on my hat. Machine's just sitting here at an idle. I gotta get these couple beech nut rounds onto the lift tray. And then once I get the lift tray loaded, we'll crank up the machine and we'll get to splitting. So here we go. Holy moly, guys. 4 beech nut rounds and that table is full. Take a look at this. 4 rounds. Fortunately, that lift tray is good for about 500 pounds from what I'm being told. But there's 4 on there. That's some respectable amount of wood. I threw a short one up there on the lift table. And then we got 4 Mohicans left after that. So here we go, guys. Left the muffs in the garage. Just realized. Let me shut the camera off. Go get my muffs. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, we're back. Got the muffs. Grabbed the ice cold water. It's on the far side on my magnet cup holder. Actually dumped it into a thermos bottle. Took a quick drink. And that first piece of beech nut was a piece of crotchy branch wood. And I got a little aggressive, and of course it got stuck. It happens. As I said in my intro, that beech has been sitting here since April, May. It's very dense. It's very hard. I just checked those couple splits off camera, and they're all 24 to around 30% from just that one little piece. What I'm finding is once you get it open and the air gets to it, it dries down pretty quick, similar to a hard maple. Next to me, I've got a blue tote on the ground. You can probably just about make it out. Down. There we go. Gotta loosen these up. There we go. There's a blue tote there on the ground. That's where my scraps go, and that stuff goes into the solo stove. almost immediately, because you can burn anything in that solo stove and you get a nice bed of coals. And that's where all my scraps go, because I can't have a burn barrel here. I have asthmatic children behind me, and I don't want to upset the parents. So when we fire the machine back up, we're going to get these last 4 big ones up on the table and get to cracking. Hopefully the microphone's still on.
is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world but keep the sky on your mind.
All right, guys, so that was 3 rounds plus, and we've still got one left on the lift tray. Got some here on the table. Beautiful stuff. And the wheelbarrow's full. Well, as comfortably full as I want to get it anyway. So let's take you over the pile and show you what we got stacked up last weekend. There's just enough room for one more row. So here we go. All right, guys, so I got the sun behind me. I'm not sure what the glare is going to look like on the video. But that's the face of a pallet. I've got 40 by 48 pallets with T-posts. That's a full 16-inch split length right there. 2 layers deep. I did that last weekend off camera. And we got room in the front here for a little bit more. I've got some Norway maple chunks here in the foreground that are going to be food for my solo stove. That stuff's ready to go. It's all crotchy, twisty little pieces, and I did not include it in my last 2-core delivery because it was just not very presentable, but that stuff burns well, you know that. So here's the wheelbarrow. We're going to get this stuff stacked up. I'm not going to bore you, and when we get back to splitting, I'll turn the camera back on. Catch you in a minute. Okay, guys, so that first wheelbarrow load is stacked up on the pallet. And I just came back around the lift table and I wanted to show you guys something. This is the drawback to leaving beech to season on a pallet in the round. You roll those suckers off onto the grass and the beech bark literally comes off in pieces. That tote there is the remains of the scraps from last weekend's splitting session. We've got 1 round back there, 1 on the lift table, a monster stump piece here that I'm not sure I'm even going to mess with. But I guess I'll noodle the outside, see what happens. We'll nibble away at it. I'll do that off camera. And that's the last 2 back there. And then I've got a load. Next up on the docket is sugar maple over there with some pieces that are split on the top that I was just messing around with to check moisture levels. That's been sitting here since about June. So, as I said, I've got plenty of AXIS candy. I'm going to walk you over real quick to the trailer, show you what's going on. This is my 5x10 with a respectable load of some cherry pieces that I got. A lot of it's really good, wild black cherry, and some limwood, which we'll just crack in half, and probably going to go right in the burn pile for the solo. And then some of the trunk pieces back there, which in the shadows it's hard to see, but it's all cherry, it's all decent, some of it's barkless. The first course that was down on the ground literally had little rooty hairs coming out of it, and it was trying to re-establish in the dirt, so I left a lot of that. But that's what we got going here, so once we get the splitting done over there and the pallets cleared, we'll roll this trailer over there, and we'll get everything reversed. When I came back from the Hope event, I decided to leave the AXIS baby out here on the hill so that I don't need to move the rounds through the machine. I just left the machine set there for the week, and that's why we're working out here in the blazing sun. But I normally have the AXIS back here between my personal woodshed and my neighbor's fence, and it would normally be staged behind the trailer. So what I'll probably do for this batch of cherry is just back in a little bit further, drop the tail, push everything off onto the crushed gravel that I have, and leave them set there, and then move the trailer out of the way and back the AXIS in, because that's where I normally do all my splitting. I throw down a tarp, and we put the totes there and the wheelbarrow, and that's our normal splitter central. So we'll have to get that reversed when we get into messing with that cherry. But for now, that's what we got going on. Alright guys, so that's about going to do it. This beech is complete. The back two rows I stacked up a little bit higher. They're taller than I am, because I put some of the shorter, chunkier pieces up there on top. And then in the front, I started that third row that I talked about earlier. And that's got really nice 16-inch stuff with a couple cap pieces. What I call cap pieces. Anyway, I got those turned face down. I actually grab a Sharpie and I grab a piece of the barkwood and I write on it with the species and the date, month and year, so that I can keep track and help keep tabs on what's going on, because as I tell everybody, I've got a microbrewery of a lot of different stuff. As you can see from the video, it extends over there to those orange crates. Over there, there's about 26 crates full of small 8 and 12-inch long cherry splits that are spoken for. I have a gentleman that smokes a lot of pork products, and those are drying and ready and waiting for him the next time the phone rings. And I've got some cherry back there. This is all pecan in the middle. I've got maple and cherry out here. It's going to be going to a barbecue customer of mine. And then the beech is over here. But here's an example of what I do. I take a piece and mark silver maple, September of 24, so I can keep tabs on it. And then I've got some empty pallets here. Back here behind used to be my apple inventory, and now it's just weeds because I'm out of apple. Kind of happens. And then back here is a full cord behind. There's 3 rows back there stacked up against that pallet. There's a full cord of red oak, white oak, pin oak back there. Then there's another partial row out here in the front. Got some scrap baskets, more oak out here. So all in, this is like 2 cord for fireplace and or stove wood. I hate to sell oak to people with fire rings, fire pits, because to me that's criminal. But anyway, I'm going to take you over here real quick, show you the carnage of the Beech Session that I had. Play on words there, guys. A Beech Session. So I think that's going to be the title of the video. But that last trunk piece that was all crotchy, I talked about whether or not I was going to split it. I actually did. There's a lot of carnage here. Threw a bunch of the pieces over here on the lift table. Some of the center grain stuff I was able to save, but the rest of it will go into a barrel you know, a tote like this. This one's full. This one over here is full. So I'll throw the remains into the wheelbarrow and push everything towards the patio, and it'll be going into the solo stove. We're having friends over tonight, so I'll get a nice cranking fire going with some dry wood and then start sprinkling in some of this beech. And that's about it, guys. All right, guys, that's about going to do it for this one. Starting to get a little toasty out here. As I just said in that last segment, the beech is all done. Got a little bit to clean up. I might try and tackle a few pieces of this sugar maple just to clear off the balance of another pallet. Trying to get these things up off the ground. Less of a trip hazard. But anyway, if you like this kind of stuff and you've stuck with me this far, please go ahead and hit that like button. Please subscribe if you've not already. Drop a comment down below. I read and respond to every comment. And post Splitting for Hope last week in tagging all of my Woodhound friends and tagging Andrew at Eastonmade. I did pick up about 15 subscribers, so thank you to all of you who have jumped on since the Hope event. And I looked this morning, I'm actually at 399 subs. So if you want to be number 400, please go ahead, click that subscribe button, click the bell icon. This video is going to air Sunday morning, 6 a.m. And until next week, guys, get outside, get cutting. Have a great week, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care, everybody.